So the documentary came out. I have still not watched it. I feel like I don't know if I want to watch it. There's a lot of shady stuff that goes on in Hollywood. We all know that, but Nickelodeon was just such a big part of my childhood growing up. And I feel like if I watch this documentary, it's really just going to hurt and destroy everything I thought I knew.
Shake it up.
What is going on, everybody? It is me, Alex. A little different today, or tonight, I should say. Matt and Danny are not in this podcast. Matt went to Africa, and Danny seems like he eloped in Venezuela. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to be seeing either of them again. But we're here, so I'm here. Now, life just got very, very busy sometimes, and you just have to deal with it. So we just have to keep the ship moving. So we're here. It is March 28th, 2024, and that means a lot to me because it marks 4 years of my dad passing away in 2020 from COVID. So this is why I have his Hall of Heavy Metal History trophy here, if you will, his medal. He was inducted in 2018 in California. This was back in 2018, but he was in a very famous band for its time anyway, called Riot, really big in Germany, Greece, Japan especially. So going to keep this guy here and let him hang out with us for today's podcast. And with that, I'm just going to give my dad a little moment of silence here while I sip this classic Tito's and soda with some lime because I'm trying to keep my figure. So, thinking of you, Dad. Yeah, 2020 has been a crazy year. Honestly, the last 4 years have been crazy. Late 2019, I lost my grandmother right before Christmas. And then in March of 2020, on the 28th, I lost my dad. Since then, I lost my grandfather, and it's just been nuts, honestly. I've definitely come to learn to accept it. Definitely not ever going to forget about it. My life has drastically changed since 2020, especially having open brain surgery and stuff. So it's a little weird to think about, someone that you love dearly is just gone. I always think about calling him, or like I'll randomly think about wanting to text him or just give him a call, and I haven't tried in a really long time, so I don't know if it would go into his voicemail or if it's just going to go into like a disconnected voicemail, which is probably worse. So I'm not going to ever call it again. I used to call it to listen to his voicemail, and I came out with a song called LAK. That was his initials, and you can see it on YouTube. My band, my solo project, honestly, now is called Motion Year. So if you go to YouTube and type in Motion Year, one word, you'll see LAK. So I couldn't have thought of a better way to celebrate him and kind of mourn the loss of him. And it came out fantastic. So definitely check it out if you're interested. And yeah, so I'm going to take another sip and let's talk about the last 4 years. A lot of crazy things have happened since the pandemic that has nothing to do with COVID or the pandemic. So it's a good channel. It's a good gateway. So we'll see if we remember any of these, because there's a lot. there's a lot. So, yeah. Do you guys remember the Murder Hornets? I remember seeing all about these crazy bees that were like attacking people or something. They were attacking the states, attacking the world. Um, but they were like entering the United States, and I remember everyone was freaking out about it because we already have killer bees, but then they had murder hornets. I totally remember that. It was such a short-lived thing though. I feel like after like a month or two, just like most things, it like just disappeared. But I remember everyone was freaking out, and I was like, "What the hell is a murder hornet?" And that was really nuts. Um, Another thing is the Pentagon. Yeah, I do remember this. They released 3 different videos about UFOs, and it's always videos that look like you recorded it with a camcorder from like 1980, or like the first ever cell phone that could take a video. It's always just so hard to see the image, and it's so difficult to see anything. And like we are living in such a high tech world. Like why are we watching things that look like trash? Like it's always black and white. It's always so fuzzy, and you can hardly see anything. And it's like we see crystal clear of everything else, but when it comes to UFOs, it's just yeah, it's never clear. But shout out to Tom DeLonge, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. UFOs, baby. Oh man. So Tiger King. They came out with Tiger King 2 and I never watched it. But honestly, I would never watch it, period, if it wasn't for um, being stuck at home. Like there was literally no other reason to watch it but being stuck at home. And I remember watching Tiger King, and it was everyone was obsessed. Like it was the craziest, most bizarre story ever, and everyone got so hooked. Florida, man, and Carol Baskin, she's a nutcase. All right, let's see here. A high school student discovered a new planet. I did not hear about that. So this is in 2020. It looks like news broke that NASA had identified a new planet. Specifically, a 17-year-old high school student discovered the planet on the third day of his internship with NASA. Oh, okay. I kind of remember this. He named it TOI 1338b. It's 6.9 times larger than Earth, and it orbits 2 stars instead of 1 every 95 days. It's 1,300 light years away. So the discovery was exciting for Star Wars fans. It says, let's see, similarities between the new planet and Luke Skywalker's home world of Tatooine. Sorry, I definitely messed that word up. The Broom Challenge hoax that went viral. Broom Challenge hoax. Oh yeah. I remember this. All right, so the the broom looks like it's standing up on its own. It went viral. So it would work because the planet's gravitational pull would be keeping it up straight. That was so stupid. A court ruled that Subway bread isn't actually bread. I don't remember that. Let's see what this says. The Subway sandwich chain has one of the most distinctive fast food smells around since they bake their own bread in-house. Yeah, dude, every time I walk through like Subways, especially in New York, but anytime you pass a Subway, you just get this blow of air of bread. Like it just always smells like bread at this place. I swear they like blow it through the tubes and like just blast it out so that everyone walks in. But honestly, I never thought it smelled that great. And I swear, no matter what kind of bread, and this is just my opinion, you may feel differently, but every type of bread that I've tried, it's been a really long time since I've had Subway, but I feel like every choice you select tastes the same. So I would always get like baked on like jalapeno with cheese, and then like wheat bread, honey wheat, and Italian, and it just all tastes the same to me. So all right, this last one here on the list, some of them suck, some of them are funny, some of them I remember, but this one says mystery seeds that arrived from China. All right, so this is not about COVID, it's about seeds. Let's see here. So an agency identified at least 14 species of seeds that had been sent over from China, including mustard, cabbage, morning glory, mint, sage, rosemary, lavender, hibiscus, and rose. 2 months later, the USDA had identified approximately 5,000 seed species coming from 44 countries of origin. Very strange. Makes no like what was the point of this? Like why was this big news? I'm looking, guys. I'm looking. So it looks like the USDA noticed two trends. The first was cases where people did, in fact, order seeds online but didn't expect them to come from a foreign country. Why the hell would you be buying seeds online? Like, I feel like you could go to your grocery store or your like a local florist or something. Like even just like your local farm stands and farms that are providing you with naturally grown product or produce. Like why the hell would you be ordering seeds online unless you were like growing pot leaves and stuff for your greenhouse that you have, quote unquote. This makes no sense, man. All right, so the internet calls it a brushing scam, which is one part of the process where merchants invent fake customers and positive reviews to boost their sales. In these cases, the reviews won't go through unless there is evidence that the transaction is completed. I mean, people do that all the time. I remember buying fake. This was so long ago, but like we used to buy fake likes when like I first started in bands and stuff, and you would get like thousands and thousands of new followers, but they would all have the same sort of username. Like the format, it'd be like George.Felix.199899, and it would just be newly created profiles. It was so obvious. I don't know why we did that. It's crazy. Well, we're going to move on because the list is done anyway. But sometimes this stuff is so bad, but I love reading it. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I'm sure Danny and Matt are happy they're not here because they hate when I put them on, when I bring them on this train ride, bring them along here. So we got to talk about Drake Bell. Drake and Josh was like one of my favorite shows growing up, as of most. I'm 32 now, and like it's still like one of my favorite shows growing up. I always loved Drake, and I just always thought he was that badass high school student that played guitar, got all the girls, and basically just never did his work or found his brother Josh to do the work for him. But I want to talk about it because there's so much going on, including Nickelodeon, and like I've read a lot about it, but I definitely want to dig deeper into this while I'm recording this podcast. So we'll do this together. I'm sure a lot of you have seen at least headlines of what's going on, but yeah, it's nuts. So for those who don't know, I'll give a brief summary of what was going on. So it was during COVID. He had to attend a court trial. He attended court online. It was a Zoom call, and there were like sexual allegations for an underage girl. But it wasn't sexual assault. I think that's where people got mixed up or thought it was. It was just like it was just him chatting, I guess, texting him. So I remember he pled guilty, but he then moved to Mexico. This was wild to me. So Drake Bell moves to Mexico. He changes his last name to Campana, and he ran away, if you will, to spread his new album, his new music to the Spanish Mexican communities that I guess love his music, love him as a person. I mean, all these comments I've been seeing now online, they're all in Spanish. Even like all of the most recent videos, they always have subtitles now that are in Spanish. So he must have a big following that I don't know, I never knew about. But I'm torn, man. I'm torn. I'm torn because with this. So the documentary came out. I have still not watched it. I feel like I don't know if I want to watch it. There's a lot of shady stuff that goes on in Hollywood. We all know that, but Nickelodeon was just such a big part of my childhood growing up. And I feel like if I watched this documentary, it's really just going to hurt and destroy everything I thought I knew. But that's what Hollywood is, man. Like, Hollywood is just a bunch of smoke and mirrors, and people do crazy things, and they have to keep secrets that they probably don't want to. Otherwise, they'll be their future and their career, as whether it be an actor, a singer, a musician, a band, it's destroyed. Um, so I haven't watched it yet, but Drake Bell came out. Now he's back to Drake Bell, and I don't know, man. It's like I'm so torn. I'm so torn. I'm gonna look some stuff up while I'm talking, but why would you go to a different country if you weren't guilty? I mean, I guess he was guilty for talking to an underage girl, but I guess it was confirmed that she said she was 18 or older, and so I mean, eh, I guess he just went along with it. He thought she was, and then they found out, and he found out, or one or the other found out that they were underage, and he was sending some sexual texts and stuff. But I guess it really didn't go anywhere. But why would you change your last name? Why would you move to Mexico if you weren't guilty? I'm not on any side. It's weird, like the whole thing. And now this documentary came out, and I feel like he's back to tell his story. But honestly, two wrongs don't make a right. He may have screwed up, but it's it's tough. It's just a tough situation. Um, it's crazy. So I'm looking up. I just want to dive into this a little bit more here. I know I saw this Reddit page. Good old Reddit. It's probably my go-to platform. Honestly, people are just ruthless, and because it's kind of it is anonymous. If you're using a username, you don't really know who it is. Um, but I was looking into it. I mean, yeah. So he pleads guilty to the charges related to crimes against the child. So that was it. Wasn't sexual assault. It was just crimes against the child, being underage. So putting the child in danger, basically, for uh, a man over 18. So it's illegal. So I mean, I totally get it, and I'm not for it. But I mean, maybe he didn't know. I don't know. You'll never know. So tell me what you think in the comments, because I'm not on either side. Like, I I don't think it's okay to be talking to a minor, but like, yeah, like, so people on Reddit, like, they're saying that it makes them think that drugs and alcohol were involved with a minor, but I don't think they ever met. I think it was just texts. I think it was just conversation, but the claims are that they never met in person, and then he just kind of dropped it. So, um, I don't know. It's 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 uh it's heartbreaking. I don't know. I can't really say, man, because it's like there's so many people on different sides, and it's just. I remember hearing this the news, um, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, Drake Bell was like a hero to me growing up, and now he's on a Zoom call with a judge, and he's in court at home, and he's got a suit and tie on, and he's pleading guilty. It's just weird, man. It definitely goes to show too, like, why Josh didn't continue the friendship either. I mean, I don't know how much he knew or how much he knows now. I mean, he must know a lot now, but they like weren't really as close of friends as everyone thought. I mean, the show was definitely um, misleading, because, like, not misleading in the sense that like, for the truth, but just like you're so used to them being brothers and best friends that you forget that they actually are real people. And so, yeah, it's like, outside of Drake and Josh, like, who were they? And I remember too that Drake got really upset, and he was posting online that he wasn't invited to Josh's wedding, and like really hurt him. But like, yeah, man, if like you worked together at like 16, and then after like Drake and Josh, you're not really friends anymore. You don't keep in touch. I mean, I think the wedding was like 2.5 hours away, and if you're not really considered that close of a friend, or really friends at all, uh, you know, you can't really be upset about somebody not inviting you. I do think it was kind of like a publicity stunt, but again, it's just it's just how I uh how I feel and how I felt, but it's nuts. It's really nuts. The other thing, so Nickelodeon is just wild to me. Between Brian Peck and Dan Schneider, I mean, it's so obvious now, and it's so obvious on camera when you're watching all of this behind the scenes stuff. And now as an adult, like you see it, like it's clear as day. You see the awkwardness and the tension between these these child actors like Jeanette, uh, McCurdy, and um, iCarly, like Miranda Cosgrove. I mean, when she turned 18, I just saw this video a couple days ago. They're singing happy birthday to her, and it's her 18th birthday, and Dan Schneider's behind her, and you can just see that grin, like that smile, like get the hell off of me. He's like squeezing her shoulders and like resting his head on hers, and like there's a point where he like puts his arm like around his neck. It's just so weird, man. I mean, Nickelodeon, the logo was a foot. Like how are you supposed to know? The other thing I saw the other day was there was a contest that you were supposed to draw on your feet and send it in. And I'm sure he has like this disgusting catalog of all these minors at the time that drew on their feet, boys and girls, that they had no idea what they're doing. And I mean, how are parents supposed to know? Like Nickelodeon was like the family friendly network, and it's sad, man. It's really sad. And Jeanette, that was uh that was Sam and iCarly. Uh, there's a video that I never saw before, but it was on Vine, and it's her calling Dan out. Basically, she's wearing like this clown, kind of like she almost looks like yeah, it's like clown with makeup on, this like red nose, and it's all like kind of running down her face. And she's like, "How do you like me now, Dan? Like, how do you feel now, Dan, or whatever?" And it's crazy. Like, I can't even imagine being put in that type of situation. It's wild. It's wild. My wife told me too that the brother, the actor who played Carly's brother in iCarly, he would just always be on set, whether he was filming or not, because he wanted to be a barrier between Dan and Brian Peck, I guess. I'm sure he was involved. And so many people knew, man. So many people knew, and they just didn't say anything, didn't do anything, and that's just like the trend. I feel like lately, it's crazy. It's really crazy to me. But um, I'm sure there's reasons why, and there's a lot of like non-disclosure agreements, and you're just putting your whole career in jeopardy, and that's when that's your main source of income. I mean, what the hell are you supposed to do? I mean, yeah, you can certainly call people out, but then within the snap of your fingers, that's it. Your career is over, and you probably worked on getting there for years and years and years, and just from the blink of an eye, it's over. So that's that's really it blows my mind. Blows my mind. Taking a sip here. It's so weird being here with no one else. So I apologize if things seem awkward. It's just me, man. It's just me. Just chilling, drinking my vodka soda. Um, so my cousin went to Maryland. She's in Baltimore, and she's like in visible distance. Like she can see it from the apartment or like hotel that they're staying at. And I guess this huge cargo boat or cargo ship crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It happened like 1:30 in the morning, and I asked her about it, and I was like, "Did you hear anything? Did you hear explosions and stuff?" But the video is crazy. Like the whole entire thing just collapses, and it just totally plunges into the water below. And there were like 22 people or more now, like that were impacted. And it's bridges are a huge fear of mine, and like that unlocked more of a fear to it because I've been over bridges so many times in my life, driving back and forth to like New York to see my dad, or even just going to like New Jersey or anywhere really that has a bridge. It's just, you can't help it. No matter what you're doing, you drive, and once you get to that beginning part of the bridge, you you just tell yourself, you definitely think about it, whether you say it out loud or not, but you definitely think about it. You're like, all right, let's just like make it to the other side, because it's such a high, you're so high up and you're over water. And yeah, that's why you need those window, you get one of those things. I have one on my truck. You got to get one of those like window smashers. Obviously I've never used it. I'm not going to, because I'm not damaging my window for no reason, but it's just that like metal pointed tool, and just the way it's designed, you just bang it onto the window and it just shatters. It just spider webs and just breaks open. So get one of those, man. Get one of those. Get one of those. But crazy. Like look on, it's, I'm sure it's everywhere now. It's on Instagram. It's everywhere on Reddit. You can see the video, Twitter. Crazy stuff. So this morning, I was working and listening to this weekly talk show that I hadn't listened to in a long time, because honestly, starting this podcast, I just have been so busy, and I never really had a chance during like my free times listening to the radio show. But they brought this thing up called sunshine guilt, and I was like, what the hell does that mean? And I was like, you're guilty that like the sun's out? Like, why would you feel guilty? But it makes so much more sense. So once they explained what it meant. So if you're really tired, having a long day, or like it's been a week long of just like horrible weather, raining, and a day comes along and it's a beautiful day outside, you feel guilty staying indoors. So like it makes more sense. So I've definitely felt like that. I'll be super tired. I'll be sitting on the couch or something. It's a beautiful day outside. I just want to sit down, but I'm like, it hasn't been sunny in like a week. You know, here in New England, weather is never predictable. It's all over the place. But I've definitely had that. Like I've just gone outside just to go outside and feel better about myself. But if you feel like you have sunshine guilt, comment below, let us know. And I'm curious, because after I thought about it, I'm like, I definitely get that sometimes. Like if it's a beautiful day out, gotta go outside, even if it's just like going to the mailbox or something, or letting our dog out. But it was weird. I feel like all these trends are happening. They always make up something. First it was like FOMO, and it's this stuff will never stop. But yeah, now sunshine guilt exists. So cheers to being guilty of Mother Nature. You guys like my my poster here? I actually got this from my cousins. One of the cousins I was just talking about. Where the hell are they? Dogs are always wondering. They're ready, man. Champ, my dog, he loves playing ball, and he will literally not stop. He will take that ball everywhere. He will hide it, so he has a ball in like every other room. He'll hide one outside. He'll hide one out under the deck. He will never ever refuse or decline your throwing ball opportunity. He's nuts. But when we're not home, he's just waiting. And it's just really funny. So I put this out here on display next to my dad's trophy. We're talking about like a lot of pop culture stuff today. But I dig it. So speaking of trends and stuff, you guys have probably seen or heard of that girl, the Chick-fil-A girl. I thought it was so stupid. I thought it was like really stupid. Like it's that girl. She's making like these weird noises and faces. I guess they're related. The girl that was filming her, but she's at Chick-fil-A, and the video went viral, absolutely viral. And like I've seen so many memes and so many GIFs and stuff of her face. And so I guess like I just saw something that her manager doesn't want her making profit off of Chick-fil-A. It's like, dude, you're already paying her to work there, and like it's not like she asked to go viral. I mean, yeah, it was posted, but it went viral, like just happened to go viral. But she's like indefinitely on like vacation mode. Like she has no scheduled time for the foreseeable future, and like, so you're just not going to pay this girl and like make her quit basically on her own terms so that it doesn't cost the job anything, or like they can't file for unemployment. But I just thought it was so whack because like that's just, who cares? Like who cares if it goes viral? Who cares if people are coming in to see this girl? First of all, Chick-fil-A is supposed to be super friendly at all times. My pleasure, always my pleasure. And like if you see someone that's like a friendly face, or you see someone who's like a famous face, you're going to go in there, you're going to order food. You're just driving business. Why would you want to get rid of her? I don't know. I think it's really stupid. I hope they hire her back. But I'm usually not one to get caught up in these stupid viral things. But when I saw her talking about it, like there's been a couple of posts that have been out there like that, they basically just, she's like on a leave indefinitely. It's, I don't know, man. It's hopefully someone else hires her, a different Chick-fil-A hires her, because all you're going to be doing is selling more chicken sandwiches, chicken nuggets, and Chick-fil-A sauce. And you know how good Chick-fil-A sauce is. There's nothing else like it. Matt actually and I used to keep, so during work, we probably brought this up at a different episode, like an early episode, but when we were in the office before COVID hit, we would go to Chick-fil-A, and they just opened one like 10 minutes from work. And we used to go every Friday. We made it a Friday thing, but we were like, all right, we got to chill, because we were literally eating Chick-fil-A every single Friday. I wasn't complaining, but we were like, all right, let's do it every other Friday. But we used to literally, we used to take the Chick-fil-A packets of sauce, of the dipping sauce, and we would just keep it. We'd bring it home, put it in the refrigerator, and we had so many. It was just, it was hilarious. It was really funny. It was really, really funny. So, miss you, bros. So speaking of like memes and gifs, I saw a meme and it was really funny. It says us 12-year-olds dancing to songs we like probably shouldn't have been, like lyric wise, what it was talking about, always X-rated stuff, just like the most bizarre lyrics ever, and we're just like dancing, not giving a shit about anything, like just dancing. Doesn't matter what it's saying. You really weren't even like, I guess you would memorize the lyrics, but you would memorize it to sing along, and you didn't actually understand the true meaning behind it. So I got a bunch, and I just wanted to bring them up because some of them are obvious, and like I remember them, but there's others that I'm like, wow, like I cannot believe we were dancing to this. And yeah, I'm sure at like our middle school dances and high school dances, they were playing the clean version, but they're songs that you would remember, and you would absolutely like sing them in the car, I'm sure. More so girls, I mean, but like with your parents in the car and stuff, or at home, even if you're like blasting it at home, they probably weren't paying attention to the lyrics at that time, and it's crazy. So let's get right into it here. So yeah, this one's obvious. This one's a huge one by Kesha. I want to take a ride on your disco stick. Like it just cracks me up because I'm picturing all of us. We're like 12 years old, 13 years old, 11 years old, or whatever, at school dance, and we're just like, girls got the crimped hair, they got the beads in their hair, like Hollister, whatever was like trending, and we got like, I got like my what I used to wear all the time. Tom DeLonge used to always wear it too. Like, well, I used to wear Hawk, Birdhouse. I used to wear like Birdhouse. It was like punk skate attire for me. Element, but Atticus. I'd wear Atticus. That was like the Tom DeLonge. Famous Stars and Straps. And like I'd spike my hair up and stuff, and we're just like dancing around, and it's like, yeah, I want to take a ride on your disco stick. It's bizarre, man. It's bizarre. It's bizarre because it was attracting our age group, and that's what we grew up on. It's just crazy. All right, Baby Got Back. We know that song very well. I don't think I knew what sprung meant. It's when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face. I knew that was like your butt. I'm sure I did at that time, but the sprung part, Yeah. Probably said it around my mom. Bad idea. Bad idea. We got blame it on the alcohol. Oh yeah. Jamie Foxx and T-Pain. Oh man. Some of these are really bad, so I apologize in advance. It's pretty offensive, but we're going for it. Got my seats all wet in my ride, then my pants got bigger. Wow. Yeah, they got big for sure. I don't even know what the hell I would have thought. Like my pants are getting bigger. I was too young, dude. I was too like naive then. Like I was oblivious. Your pants bigger. I don't know, man. Maybe I was like getting jacked, so I had to change my pant size. I don't friggin' know. That's just wild. All right, we got "Sexy Back" by Justin Timberlake. All right, so "Sexy Back" was like I liked it a lot. I loved that song. I don't know. I just like a lot of people were obsessed with that song. But dude, same thing, man. The lyrics, "Dirty babe, you see these shackles, baby, I'm your slave. I'll let you whip it. I'll let you whip me if I misbehave." Like again, I'm just like we're just dancing out on the dance floor, just talking about whipping each other with whips and chains. Like I'm your slave. It's just crazy. Like nothing is. That's the funniest part, and I'm gonna keep saying this as I go through these, but I'm just picturing these little kids who are like 12, 11 years old and just dancing, smiling. Like, remember though, we couldn't touch each other. It was like arms length apart. Couldn't be grinding, couldn't be touching. We had to be good. All right, here we go. Oh, Bedrock, Young Money. Maybe it's time to put this pussy on your sideburns. Oh my God. I don't remember those lyrics. I know the song. I don't remember the lyrics though. That is wild. Smack That with Akon and Eminem. So I remember the song for sure. I remember Smack That, Smack That. It would always be saying Smack That, but Till You Get Sore kind of sounds familiar. Kind of, it does, it doesn't, but yeah, Till You Get Sore. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. All right, the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, My Humps. I mean, that one I kind of knew. My Humps. That was never an appropriate song, but I don't remember this line. Mix your milk with my Cocoa Puff. God damn. I can't believe this, man. I cannot believe this shit. Why were we dancing to this? Genie in a Bottle, Christina Aguilera. So, oh man, yeah. It's weird seeing it in just like text. When you're listening to a song and you're listening to the lyrics, it always hits differently, but when you're just reading it off, god, it sounds so much worse. I'm a genie in a bottle, you got to rub me the right way. Oh, Christina. Christina Aguilera. Yeah, the Moulin Rouge song, Lady Marmalade. Yeah. So we were just like, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? And we didn't even care what it said, what it meant. We were just yelling that. Girls were singing that. We had no idea what that meant. Uh, it was an explicit uh, line in the song that was in French. So go look it up if you don't know. I'm sure most of you do. Maybe you don't, but look it up. You might feel differently about your 12-year-old self dancing, saying Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? All right, the Pussycat Dolls featuring Will I Am. First of all, the Pussycat Dolls. That was like I remember when the group came out, I was like, "Oh, whoa." It was just the name was like, "Whoa." I was like I don't think I ever would say it around like my parents or family cuz like I didn't want to use those words, but yeah, that song Beep. I'ma do my thing while you're playing with your beep. Yeah, they would just say beep to censor stuff out. That was a crazy crazy song. All right, I remember so Lonely Island and Akon. Lonely Island was like I was too young to listen to his stuff. I love Andy Samberg, but man, I was too young. I just had sex. That's the name of the song. I don't remember these lyrics, so when I had the sex, man, my penis felt great. Wow, yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Promiscuous Girl. Yeah, I mean, I kind of remember this. This was I can see you with nothing on, feeling on me before you bring that on. Bring what on, Nelly? Bring what on? All right, we got a few more here. The real Slim Shady by Eminem. Let's see. I don't. I'll be honest. He would spit raps so fast and say so much in every song, and like I know that's why he's so famous and so good at it. I definitely don't know. Probably not even like 50% of his lyrics because there's just so much to learn. And I was never really like a big Eminem guy. Like the Slim Shady days, that era, I was definitely into it. I just again like pretty explicit stuff, and like you just wouldn't hear me listening to it in front of my parents or whatever. Because like yeah, I mean it was literally explicit words every other word, every other sentence. Pinching nurses' asses when I'm jacking off with Jergens. Oh man, that oh my god, these are nuts. These are nuts. I said it earlier, but like reading them in text is just so much worse. Yeah. So Britney Spears, "If You Seek Amy." I remember when that first came out, it didn't click with me. It definitely didn't. And then I remember like a friend or I heard it. It was like, yeah, like "If You Seek Amy," and I was like, what? And then like they were like, think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, really creative. All of the boys and all of the girls are begging to "If You Seek Amy." Creativity, man. Obscenities in disguise. There were really groups and bands were very popular doing that back then. Now they just say whatever they want. Sexy and I know it. LMFAO. I got a passion. I got passion in my pants, and I ain't afraid to show it. Whoa, LMFAO. I wonder what that passion in your pants is. I don't want to see it though. I don't need to see it. I'll pass. All right, we got "Last Friday Night," TGIF by Katy Perry. Yeah, I love this. I used to love this song. No lie said, man, I would dance my ass off on the floor when this came on. We went streaking in the park, skinny dipping in the dark, then had a okay, this is another French one. I'm not even going to pronounce it. Let's look it up though. Let's look it up. We're looking this one up cuz I don't know what this means. I'll probably remember it when I look it up, but let me oh Jesus. It's an arrangement in which three people. Oh my god. So it's a three-way. Oh man. Three-way. Awesome. I god. I remember girls too, like they were like not even teens yet, singing in the backseat in their car seats, like singing along to Katy Perry, and they're talking about the craziest things, man. All right, one more. I'm gonna choose one more. Katy Perry, "Peacock." I want to see your peacock. Wow. All right, cock-a-doodle-doo, Katy Perry. Man, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's nuts. Life is strange, man. Life is strange. Life is life is life is a crazy thing. That's all I can say. Growing up in the millennial era and being a 90s kid, even AOL and Instant Messenger and all those, the dial up, we were just in some crazy times. You guys remember chat rooms? Like, so you'd have your profile. Take a sip. Hold on. I'm thirsty. I've been talking like crazy. I remember going into these chat rooms, and I shouldn't have. I definitely could have done without them. But the whole ASL thing, everyone was out to get you with ASL. Age, sex, location. I never gave that stuff away, clearly, but yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff, and we would always go in there and like troll these guys. Always guys, like, and even like the ones pretending to be girls, you knew it was like some 58-year-olds in like the middle of, I don't know, the Midwest or something in some like cabin, just trying to like talk to like underage kids, man. Wild. Wild. And that still happens. Still happens. Look at Nickelodeon. I don't think I'm ever going to watch that, but I'll probably watch it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to ruin my childhood more than it already has been. Really, it's just sad. It's sad. It's sad. Well, I hope you enjoyed this time with me. Like I said in the beginning, life can be crazy. Life can sometimes get in the way. Things happen, and you know, I was happy to just keep the podcast going. We kind of were on a hiatus for a few weeks, but I wanted to make sure that we stayed consistent. So maybe you'll chat with just me again. Maybe me and Matt, or Matt and I. Maybe Danny and I. But definitely the three of us. We'll definitely get some more stuff out for you guys. But thanks for chilling with me. Thanks for listening. Please comment below on the stuff we talked about. We read it. We always read it. We love talking about it. Remember, as Matt always says, remember to like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you know people that would enjoy this podcast, let them know. Reach out to them. Send them our link. Check out our shorts. And as always, shake it up. And we'll see you next time. Peace.